Yo, what is up, peoples? Thank you for joining me. Yes, this is week one of my 52 horrific weeks of 1981. If you didn't get a chance to check out the prequel video that I made, basically what I'm going to be doing here is picking a different film, one film each week for 52 weeks that came out in 1981, and just reviewing it. So, yeah, it's my favorite year in horror. I mean, if you look at the amounts or the list of films that came out that year, it's just absolutely fucking phenomenal. It really is. Pretty much like the height of the slasher genre. I mean, there were so many great films that came out that year, need to be talked about. But for week one, what I did is I plugged in all the 52 movies that I had into random.org and pressed randomize, and this one popped up as the first one. So I watched it, and I'm going to review it. Obviously, this movie came out in 1981, and this is called The Dorm That Dripped Blood. Also known as Pranks in the UK, which, if you can see that, does have the reverse alternate cover art on it. And actually, the header in this film is the original title of the film, and it's entitled Death Dorm. I actually think Death Dorm is the best title for this film, to be honest. But anyways, plot of the movie. It's basically about a group of college students, like 10 of them. They volunteered to basically close down this dormitory that is eventually going to be getting ripped down. It's like on the eve of Christmas, and so they've got about 2 weeks to clean up the whole place, get it all, cleaned up. And that's basically what it is. It's just a bunch of, college kids in this abandoned dorm doing the cleaning and stuff, and then all of a sudden they start getting picked off one by one. Very, very simple premise to the film. And that's really the entire plot of the film. It's your basically typical slasher type of film. My thoughts on the actual film, it starts out really good. There's some really decent kills in this. This is actually the unrated version of the film, so it does have the extended kills in it and some added scenes and stuff. As for the kills in the film, not too bad. It starts out really good. In my opinion, the film does get a little slow in the middle. But, it's still generally entertaining. Into the third act of the film, I think that the way the killer is revealed in this film, I think they could have probably thought that through a little better. It's really not done well at all. Because, there is some twists and turns in the film. Basically, people are getting picked off one by one, and there's this kind of like this creepy-looking guy that's been hanging around the dorms and stuff, and they don't really know why he's hanging around there. So they obviously immediately think that, this is the guy that's terrorizing them. But, of course, in early 80s slasher films, it's usually not the case. But like I said, into the third act, it's not overly too suspenseful. I think that, honestly, this film does run a little too long. I know they added in some scenes, which they probably didn't need to. This one runs about 88 minutes, but it probably could have been at least 10 minutes shorter. Generally, I like movies that are a little longer, but this one probably could have been a little shorter. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot to say about it. The body count is pretty decent in the film. There's I think there's 10 kills in the film that I counted. And a couple of them are pretty fucking brutal, actually. I gotta admit that. They were pretty good. So, it's definitely not one of the more stick-out slasher films of this era. But it is decent. It's worth a watch. The acting in the film is really good. It's very solid. As for the Blu-ray transfer on the Synapse films, it's not that great. It's pretty grainy. It's pretty dark. But then again, I don't know if they kept it dark, because it really does help with the atmosphere in this film. The film is very atmospheric. It's dark. I really did like how it was filmed. It was shot very well. But yeah, I don't know. If I had to rate the Blu-ray release, I'd probably 2.5, maybe 3 out of 5. It's not overly that great, but it doesn't really take a lot from the film. I mean, it is from 1981, and it's not a big budget film. So, but yeah, so that's my review for week 1 of the 52 horrific weeks of 1981. Once again, this is The Dorm That Dripped Blood, also known as Death Dorm, which is the header in the film, and also Pranks. Yeah, this was actually a video nasty in the UK. Yeah, not really too sure why, but yeah. So if I had to rate the film as a whole, I'd probably give it, probably 6.5 out of 10. It's not overly that great, but it's not that bad either. I think that the biggest problem with this film is the third act. Just the way the killer is revealed and stuff. It's just, I think it's done kind of piss poor, but you know what? It is definitely worth a watch. I know some people really love this film, others don't really like it, so, but that's it. Week 1. Thanks for watching, peoples. I am your host, Mood616. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Peace.